Welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'm going to do the end of the year book tag. And my little office cat is here with me today. This is Vega. I introduced her in my first video and she made an appearance today. All right, I have my questions, I have my stack of books, and let's get into it. The first one was the most disappointing book of the year for me. This is very controversial. That is Say You Swear by Meagan Brandy. I don't know what I expected going into this. It just wasn't this. First of all, I don't think that this book needs to be this long. And I don't know. It was completely not what I expected from this book. I didn't love it. I think I rated this 4.5 stars. I did end up liking it more towards the end, but I'd say the first 60% of the book was so agonizingly slow. I struggled. I almost DNF'd it multiple times, which I know that I should have, but I struggle DNFing books, and that is definitely something that I need to work on in 2025. It's hard for me to DNF a book that I own. I need to get better at that, and I need to get better at reselling the books that I don't enjoy because I'm also really bad at that. The second one is a book that surprised you. I have two books here, kind of for very different reasons why they surprised me. The first one is Hawke by Jescie Hall. There is a trope in this. I'm not going to say it just in case it is kind of some people, spoilers are different for everyone. So I don't want to say the trope because sometimes tropes are spoilers for people, but there's a trope in this that I do not love. And I loved this book. It was so good. I don't know. It's probably my favorite Jescie Hall book to this day that I've read. I've only read 3 of her books, but this is by far my favorite, and it really surprised me. The next one is Broken Bonds by Bree. This whole series is so good. I'm not somebody who likes multiple love interests. So that is kind of why this one surprised me. I loved her. I loved every single one of the 5 guys that she is bonded to. It was an excellent read. It was an excellent series read as well. I love this. The next one is my favorite book couples of the year. I have quite a few of these, honestly. My first one is Joey and Aoife from the Boys of Tommen series. I love them so much. I really loved the first couple as well. I don't know, their names are blanking. I can't think of them. Not Joey. I know their names. They're not coming to my head right now. But Joey and Aoife have my heart. I love them. I've read Claire and Gibbs's. I've read Taming 7, which I really thought that they were going to be my favorite. But I can say for certain that Joey and Aoife have my whole entire heart. And I've never cried so hard while reading books. And I've never just felt so much. I loved these characters so much. This series is just so good. My next 3 couples are from the same author. I read the Rinaverse this year, and 3 couples really stood out to me. The first one is Levi and Astrid. I loved them. I loved their story so much. And as you get into the second gen, I love seeing them as parents as well. The next one is Cole and Silver. I love them. I'm currently on Ava's book, God of War, so I'm kind of excited to see them as parents as well. And then if you saw my first video made, this is not going to come as a surprise. Nico and Bran. I don't know. There's just something about them. I can't get them out of my head. I literally cannot get them out of my head. I have thought about this book every single day since I've read it. To be fair, I did read it this December, I think. Maybe November. But I literally cannot get these 2 out of my head. I cannot get this book out of my head. I'm thinking that it may be my top book of the year, in all honesty. The next one is new favorite author you discovered this year. I actually have 2, and that is Abby Jimenez. Just for the Summer is specifically my favorite book by her so far. She has a new one coming out in 2025. I'm so excited for. I did read part of Your World and Yours Truly. Loved them both, but I think this one kind of takes the cake. But she definitely became an auto-buy author for me this year. Love. And then Alexia Onyx. I read the second book in this series. This is the Haunted Heart series. She writes dark paranormal romances, and if that's down your alley, then definitely check out her books. I cannot wait to see what she does for the third book in this trilogy. And she's also an indie author, so go show some support as well. So underrated. Her writing is so amazing. Like, she just makes you fall head over heels for her characters. So she also became an auto-buy author for me this year. Okay, I only have a few questions left. A book you haven't stopped thinking about. I feel like you already know what I'm gonna pull up. This one. Absolutely this one. I looked through my whole book journal for like my stats. And this is literally the only one that jumped out at me. Like, I read so many great books this year, but this is the only one that I just have consistently been thinking about, of course. And I read, like, right now, I'm filming on December 27th, and I have read 181 books to this day. I still have a few books that I'm in the middle of, but like I said, I'm pretty sure this is going to be my #1 read of 2024. And I am not mad about it because this was a masterpiece. And then a book you thought you'd love but didn't. Kid by Jescie Hall. I just expected more. I expected more emotional damage. I don't know. It wasn't what I expected, and I'm definitely not a fan of kind of like insta love, and that's kind of what this gave me. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it takes a lot for me to like consider a book like super emotional. And this just didn't do it for me. I thought it was a little overhyped. I hate using that word, I really do, because reading is subjective. Like, everybody's experience is different. But for me personally, this book did not give me really a lot of and like super emotional emotions that like made me cry. Um, so unfortunately, this was a book that I thought I would love, but I didn't. But I still did really like it because I love Kid. I loved seeing him in Hawke. I just really thought it was going to give me more than what it gave me. And my goal reflection. My goal this year was 111 books. And like I said, I have read 181. I feel like I read a lot of great books this year, and I read some that were kind of iffy. And with this question also, what will I prioritize in the 2025 reading year? I'm gonna try to DNF more. Like I said, that is something that I really struggle with because, I'm like there's some books that I have gotten 50% through, considered DNFing, and then I end up finishing it and I end up really liking it. I don't usually end up loving it, but I do end up really liking it. And so I feel like that is kind of why I struggle with DNFing books, because there's always still that little chance that I may end up liking the second half of the book or the last third of the book. So that is something that I definitely want to work on this year, next year. And also not putting so much on my plate. I felt like I had a lot of challenges this year. And I feel like the last few months, I spent so much time trying to read certain books that would fit into those challenges, and I wasn't really reading what I wanted to read. So sometimes that would kind of throw me into like a little bit of a book slump. So that's definitely something that I want to work on in this coming year. And I think this is where I'm going to end the video. You guys should tell me what you are setting up for yourself in 2025, your reading goal, things you want to work on, just whatever. And thank you for watching. If you liked, please like and subscribe. And I love you guys. Thank you for watching.